Love's Labours Lost by William Shakespeare. Act I seen I the King of Navarre's Park. Let fame, that all hunt after in their lives, live registered upon our brazen tombs, and then grace us in the disgrace of death. When, spite of cormorant devouring time, the endeavour of this present breath may buy that honour which shall bait his side's keen edge and make us heirs of all eternity. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, that war against your own affections and the huge army of the world's desires, our late edict shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Our cot shall be a little academy, still and contemplative in living art. You three, Bayonne, Dumaine, and Longueville, have sworn for 3 years' term to live with me, my fellow scholars, and to keep those statutes that are recorded in this schedule here. Your oaths are passed. And now subscribe your names, that his own hand may strike his honour down that violates the smallest branch herein. If you are armed to do as sworn to do, subscribe to your deep oaths and keep it too. I am resolved. 'Tis but a 3 years' fast. The mind shall banquet, though the body pine. Fat paunches have lain pâtés, and dainty bits make rich the ribs, but bankrupt quite the wits. My loving lord, Dumaine is mortified. The grosser manner of these world's delights he throws upon the gross world's baser slaves. To love, to wealth, to pomp, I pine and die, with all these living in philosophy. I can but say their protestation over. So much, dear liege, I have already sworn, that is, to live and study here 3 years. But there are other strict observances, as not to see a woman in that term, which I hope well is not enrolled there, and 1 day in a week to touch no food and but 1 meal on every day beside, the which I hope is not enrolled there. And then, to sleep but 3 hours in the night, and not be seen to wink of all the day, when I was wont to think no harm all night and make a dark night too of half the day, which I hope well is not enrolled there. Oh, these are barren tasks, too hard to keep. Not to see ladies, study, fast, not sleep? Your oath is passed to pass away from these. Let me say no, my liege, and if you please, I only swore to study with your grace and stay here in your cot for 3 years' space. You swore to that, Bayonne, and to the rest. By yea and nay, sir, then I swore in jest. What is the end of study? Let me know. Why, that to know, which else we should not know. Things hid and barred, you mean, from common sense? Aye, that is study's godlike recompense. Come on then, I will swear to study so. To know the thing I am forbid to know, as thus. To study where I well may dine, when I to feast expressly am forbid. Or study where to meet some mistress fine, when mistresses from common sense are hid. Or, having sworn too hard a keeping oath, study to break it and not break my troth. If study's gain be thus and this be so, study knows that which yet it doth not know. Swear me to this, and I will ne'er say no. These be the stops that hinder study quite and train our intellects to vain delight. Why, all delights are vain, but that most vain, which with pain purchased doth inherit pain, as painfully to pore upon a book to seek the light of truth, while truth the while doth falsely blind the eyesight of his look. Light seeking light doth light of light beguile. So, ere you find where light in darkness lies, your light grows dark by losing of your eyes. Study me how to please the eye indeed by fixing it upon a fairer eye, who dazzling so, that I shall be his heed and give him light that it was blinded by. Study is like the heaven's glorious sun that will not be deep searched with saucy looks. Small, have continual plotters, ever one save base authority from others' books. These earthly godfathers of heaven's lights that give a name to every fixed star have no more profit of their shining nights than those that walk, and what not what they are. Too much to know is to know naught but fame, and every godfather can give a name. How well he's read to reason against reading, proceeded well to stop all good proceeding. He weeds the corn and still lets grow the weeding. The spring is near when green geese are a-breeding. How follows that? Fit in his place and time, in reason nothing, something then in rhyme. Bayonne is like an envious sneaping frost that bites the first-born infants of the spring. Well, say I am. Why should proud summer boast before the birds have any cause to sing? Why should I joy in any abortive birth? At Christmas I no more desire a rose than wish a snow in May's new-fangled mirth, but like of each thing that in season grows. So you, to study now it is too late, climb o'er the house to unlock the little gate. Well, sit you out, go home, Bayonne. Adieu. No, my good lord, I have sworn to stay with you, and though I have for barbarism spoke more than for that angel knowledge you can say, yet confident I'll keep what I have swore and bide the penance of each 3 years' day. Give me the paper, let me read the same, and to the strict decrees I'll write my name. How well this yielding rescues thee from shame? Marry, that did I, sweet lord, and why? To fright them hence with that dread penalty. A dangerous law against gentility, reads. Item, if any man be seen to talk with a woman within the term of 3 years, he shall endure such public shame as the rest of the cot can possibly devise. This article, my liege, yourself must break. For well, you know here comes an embassy the French king's daughter with yourself to speak, a maid of grace and complete majesty, about surrender up of Aquitaine to her decrepit, sick and bedrid father. Therefore this article is made in vain, or vainly comes the admired princess hither. What say you, lauds? Why, this was quite forgot. So study evermore is overshot. While it doth study to have what it would, it doth forget to do the thing it should, and when it hath the thing it hunteth most, 'tis one as towns with fire, so won, so lost. We must of fast dispense with this decree, she must lie here on mere necessity. Necessity will make us all forswan 3,000 times within this 3 years' space. For every man with his effects is born, not by might mastered but by special grace. If I break faith, this word shall speak for me, I am forswan on mere necessity. So to the laws at lodge I write my name, subscribes, and he that breaks them in the least degree stands in attainder of eternal shame. Suggestions are to other as to me, but I believe, although I seem so loath, I am the last that will last keep his oath. But is there no quick recreation granted? Aye, that there is. Our cot, you know, is haunted with a refined traveller of Spain, a man in all the world's new fashion planted, that hath a mint of phrases in his brain, one whom the music of his own vain tongue doth ravish like enchanting harmony, a man of compliments, whom right and wrong have chose as umpire of their mutiny. This child of fancy that Amado hight for interim to our studies, shall relate in high-born words the worth of many a knight from tawny Spain lost in the world's debate. How you delight, my lords, I know not, but I protest I love to hear him lie, and I will use him for my minstrelsy. Amado is a most illustrious wight, a man of fine new words, fashion's own knight, costard the swain, and he shall be our spot, and so to study, 3 years is but shot. Reads, great deputy, the welkin's vicegerent and sole dominator of Navarre, my soul's earth's god and body's fostering patron. Reads, so it is, reads, so it is, besieged with sable-colored melancholy, I did commend the black-oppressing humour to the most wholesome physic of thy health-giving air, and, as I am a gentleman, betook myself to walk. The time when, about the 6th hour, when beasts most graze, birds best peck, and men sit down to that nourishment which is called supper, so much for the time when. Now for the ground which I mean I walked upon, it is yclept thy park. Then for the place where I mean, I did encounter that obscene and preposterous event, that draweth from my snow-white pen the ebon-coloured ink, which here thou viewest, beholdest, surveyst, or seest. But to the place where it standeth north-northeast and by east from the west corner of thy curious knotted garden, there did I see that low-spirited swain, that base minnow of thy mirth, reads. That unlettered small knowing soul, reads. That shallow vassal, reads. Which, as I remember, hight costard, reads, soughted and consorted, contrary to thy established proclaimed edict and continent canon, which but with this I passion to say wherewith reads. With a child of our grandmother Eve, a female, for thy more sweet understanding, a woman, him I, as my ever-esteemed duty pricks me on, have sent to thee, to receive the meed of punishment by thy sweet grace's officer, Antony Dull, a man of good repute, carriage, bearing, and estimation. Reads, for Jaquinetta, so is the weaker vessel called which I apprehended with the aforesaid swain. I keep her as a vessel of the law's fury, and shall, at the least of thy sweet notice, bring her to trial. Thine, in all compliments of devoted and hot-burning heat of duty, Don Adriano de Amado. And Don Amado shall be your keeper, my Lord Bion, see him delivered awe, and go we, lords, to put in practice that which each to other hath so strongly sworn. Exeunt King, Longueville, and Dumaine. I'll lay my head to any good man's hat, these oaths and laws will prove an idle scorn. Sirrah, come on. Scene Roman II the same. If she be made of white and red, her faults will ne'er be known, for blushing cheeks by faults are bred and fears by pale white shown. Then if she fear, or be to blame, by this you shall not know, for still her cheeks possess the same which native she doth owe. A dangerous rhyme, master, against the reason of white and red. Love's Labours Lost by William Shakespeare. Uncopyright may you do good and not evil. May you find forgiveness for yourself and forgive others. May you share freely, never taking more than you give. Copyright pages exist to tell you that you can't do something. Unlike them, this uncopyright page exists to tell you that the writing and artwork in this ebook are believed to be in the United States public domain. That is, they are believed to be free of copyright restrictions in the United States. The United States public domain represents our collective cultural heritage, and items in it are free for anyone in the United States to do almost anything at all with, without having to get permission. Copyright laws are different all over the world, and the source text or artwork in this ebook may still be copyrighted in other countries. If you're not located in the United States, you must check your local laws before using this ebook. Standard ebooks makes no representations regarding the copyright status of the source text or artwork in this ebook in any country other than the United States. Non-authorship activities performed on items that are in the public domain, so-called sweat of the brow work, don't create a new copyright. That means that nobody can claim a new copyright on an item that is in the public domain for, among other things, work like digitization, mock-up, or typography. Regardless, the contributors to this ebook released their contributions under the terms in the CC 01.0 Universal Public Domain dedication, thus dedicating to the worldwide public domain all of the work they've done on this ebook, including but not limited to metadata, the title page, imprint, colophon, this uncopyright, and any changes or enhancements to, or mock-up on, the original text and artwork. This dedication doesn't change the copyright status of the source text or artwork. We make this dedication in the interest of enriching our global cultural heritage, to promote free and libre culture around the world, and to give back to the unrestricted culture that has given all of us so much. Table of Contents Landmarks, Act Roman 2 Scene I the same. Now, madam, summon up your dearest spirits, consider who the king your father sends, to whom he sends, and what's his embassy? Yourself, held precious in the world's esteem, to Polly with the sole inheritor of all perfections that a man may owe, matchless Navarre, the plea of no less weight than Aquitaine, a dowry for a queen. Be now as prodigal of all dear grace as nature was in making graces dear, when she did starve the general world beside, and prodigally gave them all to you. Good Lord Boyet, my beauty, though but mean, needs not the painted flourish of your praise. Beauty is bought by judgment of the eye, not uttered by base sale of chapmen's tongues. I am less proud to hear you tell my worth than you much willing to be counted wise in spending your wit in the praise of mine. But now to task the tasker. Good Boyet, you are not ignorant, all-telling fame doth noise abroad. Navarre hath made a vow, till painful study shall outwear 3 years, no woman may approach his silent cot. Therefore 'tis seemeth it a needful cost before we enter his forbidden gates to know his pleasure. And in that behalf, bold of your worthiness, we single you as our best moving fair solicitor. Tell him, the daughter of the King of France on serious business, craving quick dispatch, impart youn's personal conference with his grace, haste signifies so much, while we attend like humble-visaged suitors, his high will. Proud of employment, willingly I go. All pride is willing pride, and yours is so. Exit Boyet. Who are the votaries, my loving lords, that avow fellows with this virtuous duke? Lord Longueville is one. Know you the man? I know him, madam. At a marriage feast between Lord Perigott and the beauteous heir of Jacques Falconbridge, solemnized in Normandy, saw I this Longueville. A man of sovereign parts he is esteemed, well fitted in arts, glorious in arms. Nothing becomes him ill that he would well. The only soil of his fair virtue's gloss, if virtue's gloss will stain with any soil, is a sharp wit matched with too blunt a will, whose edge hath power to cut, whose will still wills it should none spare that come within his power. Some merry mocking laud belike, is't so? They say so most that most his humours know. Such short-lived wits do wither as they grow. Who are the rest? The young Dumaine, a well-accomplished youth, of all that virtue love for virtue loved, most power to do most harm, least knowing ill, for he hath wit to make an ill shape good, and shape to win grace though he had no wit. I saw him at the Duke Alençon's once, and much too little of that good I saw is my report to his great worthiness. Another of these students at that time was there with him, if I have heard a truth. Bion they call him, but a merry man, within the limit of becoming mirth. I never spent an hour's talk with Al. His eye begets occasion for his wit. For every object that the one doth catch the other turns to a mirth-moving jest, which his fair tongue, conceits exposita, delivers in such apt and gracious words that aged ears play truant at his tales and younger hearings are quite ravished. So sweet and voluble is his discourse. God bless my ladies, are they all in love, that every one her own hath garnished with such bedecking ornaments of praise? Here comes Boyet. Now, what admittance, laud? Nava had notice of your fair approach, and he and his competitors in oath were all addressed to meet you, gentle lady, before I came. Marry, thus much I have learnt. He rather means to lodge you in the field, like one that comes here to besiege his cot, than seek a dispensation for his oath, to let you enter his unpeopled house. Here comes Nava. Fair princess, welcome to the cot of Nava. You shall be welcome, madam, to my cot. I will be welcome then, conduct me thither. Hear me, dear lady, I have sworn an oath. Our Lady help my lord, he'll be forsworn. Not for the world, fair madam, by my will. Why, will shall break it, will and nothing else. Your ladyship is ignorant what it is. Were my lord so, his ignorance were wise, where now his knowledge must prove ignorance. I hear your grace hath sworn out housekeeping. 'Tis deadly sin to keep that oath, my lord, and sin to break it. But pardon me, I am too sudden bold, to teach a teacher ill beseemeth me. Vouchsafe to read the purpose of my coming, and suddenly resolve me in my suit. Madam, I will, if suddenly I may. You will the sooner that I were away, for you'll prove perjured if you make me stay. Did not I dance with you in Brabant once? Did not I dance with you in Brabant once? I know you did. How needless was it then to ask the question? You must not be so quick, 'tis long of you that spur me with such questions. Your wit's too hot, it speeds too fast, 'twill tire. Not till it leave the writer in the mire. What time o' day, the hour that fools should ask, now fair befall your mask? Fair fall the face it covers, and send you many lovers? Amen, so you be none. Nay, then will I be gone. Madam, your father here doth intimate the payment of 100,000 crowns, being but the one half of an entire sum disbursed by my father in his wars. But say that he or we, as neither have, received that sum, yet there remains unpaid 100,000 more, in surety of the which one pot of Aquitaine is bound to us, although not valued to the money's worth. If then the king your father will restore but that one half which is unsatisfied, we will give up our right in Aquitaine, and hold fair friendship with his majesty. But that, it seems, he little purposed, for here he doth demand to have repaid 100,000 crowns, and not demands, on payment of 100,000 crowns, to have his title live in Aquitaine, which we much rather had depart withal, and have the money by our father lent than Aquitaine so gelded as it is. Dear princess, were not his requests so far from reason's yielding, your fair self should make a yielding gainst some reason in my breast, and go well satisfied to France again. You do the king my father too much wrong, and wrong the reputation of your name, in so unseeming to confess receipt of that which hath so faithfully been paid. I do protest I never heard of it, and if you prove it, I'll repay it back or yield up Aquitaine. We arrest your word. Boyet, you can produce acquittances for such a sum from special offices of Charles his father. Satisfy me so. So please your grace, the packet is not come where that and other specialties abound. Tomorrow you shall have a sight of them. It shall suffice me, at which interview all liberal reason I will yield unto. Meantime receive such welcome at my hand as honour without breach of honour may make tender of to thy true worthiness. You may not come, fair princess, in my gates, but here without you shall be so received as you shall deem yourself lodged in my heart, though so denied fair harbour in my house. Your own good thoughts excuse me, and farewell. Tomorrow shall we visit you again. Sweet health and fair desires consort your grace. Thy own wish I thee in every place. Exit. Lady, I will commend you to mine own heart. Pray you do my commendations, I would be glad to see it. Alack, let it blood. Would that do it good? My physic says I. Will you pricked with your eye? No point with my knife. Now, God save thy life, and yours from long living. I cannot stay thanksgiving. Retiring, sir, I pray you a word. What lady is that same? The heir of Alençon, Catherine her name, a gallant lady. Monsieur, fare you well. Exit. I beseech you a word. What is she in the white? A woman sometimes, and you saw her in the light. Perchance light in the light. I desire her name. She hath but one for herself, to desire that were a shame. Pray you, sir, whose daughter? Her mother's, I have heard. God's blessing on your beard. Good sir, be not offended. She is an heir of Falconbridge. Nay, my choler is ended. She is a most sweet lady, not unlike, sir, that may be. Exit Longueville. What's her name in the cap? Rosaline, by good hap. Is she wedded or no? To her will, sir, or so. You are welcome, sir. Adieu. Farewell to me, sir, and welcome to you. Exit Bion. That last is Bion, the merry madcap laud, not a word with him but a jest, and every jest but a word. It was well done of you to take him at his word. I was as willing to grapple as he was to baud. And wherefore not ships? No sheep, sweet lamb, unless we feed on your lips. You sheep, and I pasture. Shall that finish the jest? Not so, gentle beast. My lips are no common, though several they be, to my fortunes and me. Good wits will be jangling, but gentles, agree. This civil war of wits were much better used on Navarre and his bookmen, for here 'tis abused. If my observation, which very seldom lies, by the hot still rhetoric disclosed with eyes, deceive me not now, Navarre is infected with that which we lovers in title affected. Why, all his behaviours did make there retire to the cot of his eye, peeping thorough desire. His heart, like an agate, with your print impressed, proud with his form, in his eye pride expressed. His tongue, all impatient to speak and not see, did stumble with haste in his eyesight to be. All senses to that sense did make their repair, to feel only looking on fairest of fair. Methought all his senses were locked in his eye, as jewels in crystal for some prince to buy, who, tendering their own worth from where they were glossed, did point you to buy them, along as you passed. His face's own Magent did quote such amazes that all eyes saw his eyes enchanted with gazes. I'll give you Aquitaine and all that is his, and you give him for my sake but one loving kiss. Come to our pavilion, boy it is disposed, but to speak that in words which his eye hath disclosed. I only have made a mouth of his eye, by adding a tongue which I know will not lie. Thou art an old love-monger and speakest skilfully. He is Cupid's grandfather and learns news of him. Then was Venus like her mother, for her father is but grim. Do you hear, my mad wenches? No? What then do you see? Our way to be gone. You are too hard for me. Exeunt. Act Roman 3 Scene I the same. Minim, honest master, or rather master no, you are too swift, sir, to say so. Is that lead slow which is fired from a gun? Sweet smoke of rhetoric. He reputes me a cannon, and the bullet that's he, I shoot thee at the swain. Thump then and I flee. Exit. A most acute juvenile, voluble and free of grace. By thy favour, sweet welkin, I must sigh in thy face, most rude melancholy, Vala gives thee place. My herald is returned. A wonder, master, he has a costard broken in a shin. Some enigma, some riddle. Come thy envoy, begin. Do the wise think the mother? Is not envoy a salve? No, page, it is an epilogue or discourse to make plain some obscure precedents that hath tofore been sane. I will example it. The fox, the ape, and the humble bee were still at odds, being but three. There's the moral. Now the envoy. The fox, the ape, and the humble bee were still at odds, being but three, until the goose came out of daw, and stayed the odds by adding faw. Now will I begin your moral, and do you follow with my envoy. The fox, the ape, and the humble bee were still at odds, being but three, until the goose came out of daw, staying the odds by adding faw. The boy hath sold him a bargain, a goose, that's flat. Sir, your pennyworth is good, and your goose be fat. To sell a bargain well is as cunning as fast and loose. Let me see, a fat envoy. Aye, that's a fat goose. Come hither, come hither. How did this argument begin? By saying that a costard was broken in a shin. Then called you for the envoy. True, and I for a plantain. Thus came your argument in. Then the boy's fat envoy, the goose that you bought, and he ended the market. Thou hast no feeling of it, moth. I will speak that envoy. I costard, running out that was safely within, fell over the threshold and broke my shin. Like the sequel, I, signia costard, adieu. My sweet ounce of man's flesh, my incarnate Jew, exit moth. Now will I look to his remuneration. Remuneration? Oh, that's the Latin word for 3 farthings. 3 farthings remuneration. What's the price of this in Clee? 1 penny. No, I'll give you a remuneration. Why, it carries it. Remuneration? Why, it is a fairer name than French crown. I will never buy and sell out of this word. Stay, slave, I must employ thee, as thou wilt win my favour, good my knave. Do one thing for me that I shall entreat, it must be done this afternoon. Hawk, slave, it is but this. The princess comes to hunt here in the park, and in her train there is a gentle lady. When tongues speak sweetly, then they name her name, and Rosaline they call her. Ask for her, and to her white hand see thou do commend this sealed-up counsel. There's thy guerdon, go, giving him a shilling. And I, forsooth, in love? I that have been love's whip, a very beetle to a humorous sigh, a critic, nay, a night-watch constable, a domineering pedant are the boy, than whom no mortal so magnificent. This wimpled, whining, purblind, wayward boy, this senior junior, giant waft dan Cupid, regent of love rhymes, laud of folded arms, the anointed sovereign of sighs and groans, liege of all loiterers and malcontents, dread prince of plackets, king of cod pieces, sole imperator and great general of trotting parrotters. Oh, my little heart, and I to be a copperel of his field, and wear his colours like a tumbler's hoop. What, I love, I sue, I seek a wife, a woman that is like a German clock, still repairing, ever out of frame, and never going aright, being a watch, but being watched that it may still go right. Nay, to be perjured, which is worst of all, and among 3 to love the worst of all. A whitely wanton with a velvet brow, with 2 pitch balls stuck in her face for eyes, Aye, and by heaven, one that will do the deed though August were her eunuch and her god, and I to sigh for her, to watch for her, to pray for her. Go to, it is a plague that Cupid will impose for my neglect of his almighty dreadful little might. Well, I will love, write, sigh, pray, sue and groan, some men must love my lady and some Joan. Exit. Act Roman Fa scene I the same. Was that the king that spurred his hoss so hard against the steep uprising of the hill? I know not, but I think it was not he. Woer was, a showed a mounting mind. Well, lauds, today we shall have our dispatch, on Saturday we will return to France. Then, Foresta, my friend, where is the bush that we must stand and play the murderer in? Hereby, upon the edge of yonder coppice, a stand where you may make the fairest shoot. I thank my beauty, I am fair that shoot, and thereupon thou speakst the fairest shoot. Pardon me, madam, for I meant not so. What, first praise me and again say no? O short-lived pride, not fair, alack for woe? Yes, madam, fair, nay, never paint me now, where fair is not, praise cannot mend the brow. Here, good my gloss, take this for telling true, fair payment for foul words is more than due. Nothing but fair is that which you inherit. See, my beauty will be saved by merit. O heresy and fair, fit for these days. A giving hand, though foul, shall have fair praise. But come, the bow. Now mercy goes to kill, and shooting well is then accounted ill. Thus will I save my credit in the shoot, not wounding, pity would not let me dot. If wounding, then it was to show my skill, that more for praise than purpose meant to kill. And out of question so it is sometimes, glory grows guilty of detested crimes when, for fame's sake, for praise, and outward pot, we bend to that the working of the heart. As I for praise alone now seek to spill the poor dear's blood, that my heart means no ill. Do not cursed wives hold that self-sovereignty only for praise sake, when they strive to be lauds are their lauds? Only for praise, and praise we may afford to any lady that subdues a laud. Here comes a member of the Commonwealth. The thickest and the tallest, it is so, truth is truth. And your waist, mistress, were as slender as my wit. One of these maids' girdles for your waist should be fit. Are not you the chief woman? You are the thickest here. What's your will, sir? What's your will? I have a letter from Monsieur Bion to one Lady Rosaline. Oh, thy letter, he's a good friend of mine, stand aside, good bearer. Boy it, you can carve, break up this capon, I am bound to serve. This letter is mistook, it importeth none here, it is writ to Jaquinetta, we will read it I swear, break the neck of the wax, and every one give ear, reads. By heaven that thou art fair is most infallible, true that thou art beauteous, truth itself that thou art lovely. More fairer than fair, beautiful than beauteous, truer than truth itself, have commiseration on thy heroical vassal. The magnanimous and most illustrate King Cophetua set eye upon the pernicious and indubitate beggar Xenophon, and he it was that might rightly say, Veni, vidi, vici, which to anathenize in the vulgar, O base and obscure vulgar. Videlicet he came, saw, and overcame, he came, one saw, two, overcame, three. Who came? The king. Why did he come? To see. Why did he see? To overcome. To whom came he? To the beggar. What saw he? The beggar. Who overcame he? The beggar. The conclusion is victory on whose side? The king's. The captive is enriched on whose side? The beggar's. The catastrophe is a nuptial on whose side? The king's. No. On both in one, or one in both. I am the king, for so stands the comparison, thou the beggar, for so witnesseth thy lowliness. Shall I command thy love? I may. Shall I enforce thy love? I could. Shall I entreat thy love? I will. What shalt thou exchange for rags, robes for tittles, titles for thyself? Me. Thus, expecting thy reply, I profane my lips on thy foot, my eyes on thy picture, and my heart on thy every pot. Thine, in the dearest design of industry, Don Adriano der Amado. Thus dost thou hear the Nemean lion raw gainst thee, thou lamb, that standest as his prey. Submissive fall his princely feet before, and he from forage will incline to play. But if thou strive, poor soul, what art thou then? Food for his rage, repasture for his den. What plume of feathers is he that indited this letter? What vane? What weathercock? Did you ever hear better? I am much deceived, but I remember the style. Else your memory is bad. Going o'er it Iruhile. This Amado is a Spaniard that keeps here in cot, a Fantasime, a Monaco, and one that makes spot to the prince and his bookmates. Thou fellow, a word, who gave thee this letter? From my Lord Bion, a good master of mine, to a lady of France that he called Rosaline. Thou hast mistaken his letter. Come, lauds, away, to Rosaline. Here, sweet, put up this. 'Twill be thine another day. Exeunt princess and train. Who is the suitor? Who is the suitor? Shall I teach you to know? I, my continent of beauty. Why, she that bears the bow, finely put off. My lady goes to kill Hans, but if thou marry, hang me by the neck if Hans that year miscarry. Finely put on. Well then, I am the shooter, and who is your dear? If we choose by the horns, yourself come not near. Finally put on indeed, you still wrangle with her boyet, and she strikes at the brow, but she herself is hit lower. Have I hit her now? Thou canst not hit it, thou canst not hit it, my good man. And I cannot, and I cannot, another can. Exeunt Rosaline and Katharine. By my troth most pleasant, how both did fit it? A mock marvellous well shot, for they both did hit it. A mock, oh mock, but that mock, a mock, says my lady. Let the mock have a prick in't to meet it, if it may be. Wide o' the bow hand, aye faith, your hand is out. Indeed, a must shoot nearer, or he'll ne'er hit the clout. And if my hand be out, then belike your hand is in. Then will she get the upshoot by cleaving the pin. Come, you talk greasily, your lips grow foul. She's too hard for you at pricks, sir. Challenge her to bowl, I fear too much rubbing. Good night, my good owl. Exeunt Boyet and Maria. By my soul, a swain, a most simple clown. Laud, how the ladies and I have put him down. Oh, my troth, most sweet jests, most inconnive vulgar wit, when it comes so smoothly off, so obscenely, as it were, so fit. Amato oth one side, oh, a most dainty man, to see him walk before a lady and to bear her fan, to see him kiss his hand, and how most sweetly I will swear, and his page ot other side that handful of wit. Ah, heavens, it is a most pathetical knit. Sola, shout within. Exit costad running, scene room into the same. Twice sod simplicity, bis coctus. O thou monster ignorance, how deformed dost thou look! Sir, he hath never fed of the dainties that are bred in a book. He hath not eat paper, as it were. He hath not drunk ink. His intellect is not replenished. He is only an animal, only sensible in the duller pots. And such barren plants are set before us, that we thankful should be, which we have taste and feeling are, for those pots that do fructify in us more than he. For as it would ill become me to be vain, indiscreet, or a fool, so were there a patch set on learning, to see him in a school, but omni bene, say I, being of an old father's mind, many can brook the weather that love not the wind. You too are bookmen. Can you tell me by your wit what was a month old at Cain's birth, that's not 5 weeks old as yet? Dictina, Goodman Dull, Dictina, Goodman Dull. What is Dictina? A title to Phoebe, to Luna, to the moon. The moon was a month old when Adam was no more, and wrought not to 5 weeks when he came to 50. The illusion holds in the exchange. 'Tis true indeed, the collusion holds in the exchange. I will something affect the letter, for it argues facility. The prayful princess pierced and pricked a pretty pleasing pricket, some say a saw, but not a saw, till now made saw with shooting. The dogs did yell, put L to saw, then sorrel jumps from thicket, or pricket saw, or else sorrel, the people fall a-hooting. If saw be saw, then L to saw makes 50 saws one sorrel. Of one sore I 100 make by adding but one more L. Faust, precaugelita quando pecus omni sub umbra ruminat, and so forth. Ah, good old Mantuan, I may speak of thee as the traveller doth of Venice, Venetia, kai nun tai vid nun tai persia. Old Mantuan, who understandeth thee not, loves thee not. Re sol la mi fa, under pardon, sir, what are the contents? Or rather, as Horace says in his, What my soul verses, reads, If love make me forswan, how shall I swear to love? Ah, never faith could hold if not to beauty vowed. Though to myself forswan, to thee I'll faithful prove, those thoughts to me were oaks, to thee like osiers bowed. Study his bias leaves and makes his book thine eyes, where all those pleasures live that aught would comprehend. If knowledge be the mock, to know thee shall suffice. Well learned is that tongue that well can thee commend, all ignorant that soul that sees thee without wonder, which is to me some praise that I thy pots admire. Thy eye Jove's lightning bears, thy voice his dreadful thunder, which not to anger bent, is music and sweet fire. Celestial as thou art, O pardon, love, this wrong, that sings heaven's praise with such an earthly tongue. Scene Roman 3 the same, reads, So sweet a kiss the golden sun gives not to those fresh morning drops upon the rose as thy eye beams, when their fresh rays have smote the night of dew that on my cheeks down flows, nor shines the silver moon one half so bright through the transparent bosom of the deep, as doth thy face through tears of mine give light. Thou shinest in every tear that I do weep, no drop but as a coach doth carry thee, so ridest thou triumphing in my woe. Do but behold the tears that swell in me, and they thy glory through my grief will show. But do not love thyself, then thou wilt keep my tears for glasses, and still make me weep. O Queen of Queens, how far dost thou excel, no thought can think, nor tongue of mortal tell. How shall she know my griefs? I'll drop the paper, sweet leaves, shade folly. Who as he comes here, steps aside? What Longueville, and reading? Listen, ear, now in thy likeness one more fool appear. In love, I hope, sweet fellowship in shame. One drunkard loves another of the name. Am I the first that have been perjured so? I could put thee in comfort. Not by two that I know. Thou makest the triumvirate, the conacap of society, the shape of love's Tyburn that hangs up simplicity. I fear these stubborn lines lack power to move. O sweet Maria, empress of my love, these numbers will I tear and write in prose. O rhymes are gods on wanton Cupid's hose, disfigure not his slop, this same shall go. Reads, did not the heavenly rhetoric of thine eye, gainst whom the world cannot hold argument, persuade my heart to this false perjury? Vows for thee broke deserve not punishment. A woman I forswore, but I will prove, thou being a goddess, I forswore not thee. My vow was earthly, thou a heavenly love. Thy grace being gained cures all disgrace in me. Vows are but breath, and breath a vapor is. Then thou, fair sun, which on my earth dost shine, exhalest this vapor vow. In thee it is, if broken then, it is no fault of mine, if by me broke. What fool is not so wise to lose an oath to win a paradise? This is the liver vein which makes flesh a deity, a green goose a goddess, pure, pure idolatry. God amend us, God amend, we are much out of the way. By whom shall I send this? Company, stay, steps aside, all hid, an old infant play. Like a demigod here sit I in the sky, and wretched fools' secrets heedfully o'er I. Moss sacks to the mill. O heavens, I have my wish. Dumaine transformed, fall woodcocks in a dish. By heaven, the wonder in a mortal eye. By earth she is not, copperal there you lie. Her amber hair for fowl hath amber quoted. An amber-colored raven was well noted, as upright as the cedar. Stoop, I say, her shoulder is with child, as fair as day. I as some days, but then no sun must shine. Oh, that I had my wish, and I had mine, and I mine too, good Lord. Amen. So I had mine, is not that a good word? I would forget her. But a fever she reigns in my blood and will remembered be. A fever in your blood. Why then incision would let her out in sauces, sweet misprision? Once more I'll read the ode that I have writ. Once more I'll mock how love can vary wit. Reads, on a day, alack the day? Love, whose month is ever May, spied a blossom passing fair playing in the wanton air, through the velvet leaves the wind, all unseen, can passage find, that the lover, sick to death, wish himself the heaven's breath. Ere, quoth he, thy cheeks may blow, ere would I might triumph so. But alack, my hand is swan ne'er to pluck thee from thy thorn. Vow, alack, for youth unmeet, youth so apt to pluck a sweet? Do not call it sin in me that I am forsworn for thee, thou for whom Jove would swear Juno but an Ethiop were, and deny himself for Jove, turning mortal for thy love. This will I send, and something else more plain, that shall express my true love's fasting pain. Oh, would the king, Bion, and Longueville were lovers too? Ill, to example ill, would from my forehead wipe a perjured note, for none offend where all alike do dote. Advancing. Dumaine, thy love is far from charity, that in love's grief desirest society. You may look pale, but I should blush, I know, to be aw-heard and taken napping so. Advancing. Come, sir, you blush, as is your case is such. You chided him, offending twice as much. You do not love Maria. Longueville did never sonnet for her sake compile, nor never lay his wreathed arms athwart his loving bosom to keep down his heart. I have been closely shrouded in this bush and mocked you both, and for you, both did blush. I heard your guilty rhymes, observed your fashion, saw sighs reek from you, noted well your passion. I me, says one, O Jove, the other cries. One her hairs were gold, crystal the other's eyes to Longueville. You would for paradise break faith and troth to Dumaine, and Jove for your love would infringe an oath. What will Bion say when that he shall hear faith so infringed, which such zeal did swear? How will he scorn? How will he spend his wit? How will he triumph, leap and laugh at it? For all the wealth that ever I did see, I would not have him know so much by me. Now step I forth to whip hypocrisy. Advancing. Ah, good my liege, I pray thee pardon me. Good heart, what grace hast thou, thus to reprove these worms for loving, that ought most in love? Your eyes do make no coaches, in your tears there is no certain princess that appears. You'll not be perjured, 'tis a hateful thing. Tush, none but minstrels like of sonneting. But are you not ashamed? Nay, are you not, all three of you, to be thus much awe-shut? You found his mote, the king your mote did see, but I a beam do find in each of three. Oh, what a scene of foolery have I seen, of sighs, of groans, of sorrow, and of teen. O me, with what strict patience have I sat, to see a king transformed to a gnat, to see great Hercules whipping a gig, and profound Solomon to tune a jig, and Nesta play at push-pin with the boys, and critic Timon laugh at idle toys. Where lies thy grief, O tell me, good Dumaine? And gentle Longueville, where lies thy pain? And where my liege, all about the breast, a caudle, ho? Too bitter is thy jest. Are we betrayed thus to thy overview? Not you to me, but I betrayed by you. I that am honest. I that hold it sin to break the vow I am engaged in. I am betrayed by keeping company with men like men of inconstancy. When shall you see me write a thing in rhyme, all grown for love? I'll spend a minute's time in pruning me. When shall you hear that I will praise a hand, a foot, a face, an eye, a gait, a state, a brow, a breast, a waist, a leg, a limb? Soft, whither away so fast? A true man or a thief that gallops so? I post from love, good lover, let me go. God bless the king. What present haste thou there? Some certain treason. What makes treason here? Nay, it makes nothing, sir. If it ma nothing neither, the treason and you go in peace away together. I beseech your grace, let this letter be read. Our parson misdoubts it. 'Twas treason, he said. Bion, read it over, giving him the paper. Where hadst thou it? Of dona Dramatio, dona Dramatio. Bion tears the letter. How now? What is in you? Why dost thou tear it? A toy, my liege, a toy. Your grace needs not fear it. It did move him to passion, and therefore let's hear it. It is Bion's writing, and here is his name, gathering up the pieces. To Costard. Ah, you hossen loggerhead, you were born to do me shame. Guilty, my lord, guilty. I confess, that you three fools lacked me fool to make up the mess, he. And you, my liege, and I, up pick purses in love, and we deserve to die. Oh, dismiss this audience, and I shall tell you more. Now the number is even. True, we are fa. Will these turtles be gone? Hence, sirs, away. Walk aside the true folk, and let the traitors stay. Exeunt Costard and Jaquenetta. Sweet lauds, sweet lovers, oh, let us embrace. As true we are as flesh and blood can be, the sea will ebb and flow, heaven show his face. Young blood doth not obey an old decree. We cannot cross the cause why we were born, therefore of all hands must we be forsworn. What, did these rent lines show some love of thine? Did they, quoth you? Who sees the heavenly Rosaline, that, like a rude and savage man of Inde, at the first opening of the gorgeous east, bows not his vassal head and strucken blind kisses the base ground with obedient breast? What peremptory eagle-sighted eye dares look upon the heaven of her brow, that is not blinded by her majesty? What zeal, what fury hath inspired thee now? My love, her mistress, is a gracious moon, she an attending star, scarce seen a light. My eyes are then no eyes, nor I Bion. Oh, but for my love, day would turn to night. Of all complexions the culled sovereignty do meet, as at a fair, in her fair cheek, where several worthies make one dignity, where nothing wants that want itself doth seek. Lend me the flourish of all gentle tongues, fie, painted rhetoric. Oh, she needs it not, to things of sale a sella's praise belongs, she passes praise, then praise too shot doth blot. A withered hermit, 50 winters wan, might shake off 50, looking in her eye, beauty doth varnish age as if new-born, and gives the crutch the cradle's infancy. Oh, 'tis the sun that maketh all things shine. By heaven, thy love is black as ebony. Is ebony like her? Oh, would divine, a wife of such would were felicity. Oh, who can give an oath? Where is a book, that I may swear beauty doth beauty lack, if that she learn not of her eye to look? No face is fair that is not full so black. Oh, paradox! Black is the badge of hell, the hue of dungeons and the suit of night, and beauty's crest becomes the heavens' well. Devils soonest tempt, resembling spirits of light. Oh, if in black my lady's brows be decked, it maunds that painting and usurping hair should ravish dotas with a false aspect, and therefore is she bound to make black fair. Her favour turns the fashion of the days, for native blood is counted painting now, and therefore red, that would avoid dispraise, paints itself black to imitate her brow. To look like her a chimney sweep is black, and since her time a collier's counted bright, and Ethiops of their sweet complexion crack. Dark needs no candles now, for dark is light. Your mistresses dare never come in rain, for fear their colours should be washed away. Twe a good, yaws did for sir to tell you plain, I'll find a fairer face not washed today. I'll prove her fair, or talk till doomsday here. No devil will fright thee then so much as she. I never knew man hold vile stuff so dear. Look, here's thy love, my foot in her face see. Oh, if the streets were paved with thine eyes, her feet were much too dainty for such tread. Oh, vile? Then, as she goes, what upward lies the street should see as she walked overhead. But what of this? Are we not all in love? Nothing so sure, and thereby all forsworn. Then leave this chat, and good Bion, now prove our loving lawful and our faith not tawn. Ay, marry there, some flattery for this evil. Oh, some authority how to proceed, some tricks, some quillets how to cheat the devil, some salve for perjury. 'Tis more than need. Have it you then, affection's men at arms. Consider what you first did swear unto, to fast, to study, and to see no woman. Flat treason gainst the kingly state of youth. Say, can you fast? Your stomachs are too young. and abstinence engenders maladies. And where that you have vowed to study, lauds, in that each of you have forsworn his book, can you still dream and pore in thereon look? For when would you, my lord, or you, have found the ground of study's excellence without the beauty of a woman's face? From women's eyes this doctrine I derive, they are the ground, the books, the academies from whence doth spring the true Promethean fire. Why, universal plodding poisons up the nimble spirits in the arteries, as motion and long-during action tires the sinewy vigor of the traveller. Now, for not looking on a woman's face, you have in that forsworn the use of eyes and study too, the causer of your vow. For whereas any author in the world teaches such beauty as a woman's eye, learning is but an adjunct to ourself, and where we are our learning likewise is, then when ourselves we see in ladies' eyes, do we not likewise see our learning there? Oh, we have made a vow to study, lauds, and in that vow we have forsworn our books. For when would you, my liege, or you, in leaden contemplation, have found out such fiery numbers as the prompting eyes of beauty's tutors have enriched you with? Other slow arts entirely keep the brain, and therefore, finding barren practices, scarce show a harvest of their heavy toil, but love, first learned in a lady's eyes, lives not alone immured in the brain, but with the motion of all elements, causes as swift as thought in every power, and gives to every power a double power, above their functions and their offices. It adds a precious seeing to the eye. A lover's eyes will gaze an eagle blind. A lover's ear will hear the lowest sound, when the suspicious head of theft is stopped. Love's feeling is more soft and sensible than are the tender horns of cockled snails. Love's tongue proves dainty Bacchus gross in taste, for valor, is not love a Hercules, still climbing trees in the Hesperides, subtle as Sphinx, as sweet and musical as bright Apollo's lute, strung with his hair? And when love speaks, the voice of all the gods makes heaven drowsy with the harmony. Never durst poet touch a pen to write until his ink were tempered with love's sighs. Oh, then his lines would ravish savage ears and plant in tyrants mild humility. From women's eyes this doctrine I derive, they sparkle still the right Promethean fire. They are the books, the arts, the academies, that show, contain and nourish all the world, else none at all in aught proves excellent. Then fools you were these women to forswear, or keeping what is swan, you will prove fools. For wisdom's sake, a word that all men love, or for love's sake, a word that loves all men, or for men's sake, the authors of these women, all women's sake, by whom we men are men, let us once lose our oaths to find ourselves, or else we lose ourselves to keep our oaths. It is religion to be thus forsworn, for charity itself fulfills the law, and who can sever love from charity? St. Cupid, then? And soldiers to the field? Advance your standards, and upon them, lauds, pell-mell, down with them, but be first advised in conflict that you get the son of them. Now to plain dealing, lay these glozes by, shall we resolve to woo these girls of France? And win them too. Therefore let us devise some entertainment for them in their tents. First, from the park let us conduct them thither. Then homeward every man attach the hand of his fair mistress. In the afternoon we will with some strange pastime solace them, such as the shortness of the time can shape. For revels, dances, masques, and merry hours forerun fair love, strewing her way with flowers. Away, away, no time shall be omitted that will betime, and may by us be fitted. Allens, sowed cockle reaped no con, and justice always whirls in equal measure. Light wenches may prove plagues to men forsworn, if so, our coppa buys no better treasure. Exeunt. Act V scene I the same, I'll make one in a dance or so, or I will play on the tabba to the worthies and let them dance the hay. Most dull, honest dull, to our spot away, exeunt, scene room into the same. Sweethearts, we shall be rich ere we depart if fairings come thus plentifully in, a lady walled about with diamonds. Look you what I have from the loving king. Madam, came nothing else along with that? Nothing but this? Yes, as much love in rhyme as would be crammed up in a sheet of paper, Rideau both sides the leaf, Mogent and all, that he was fain to seal on Cupid's name. That was the way to make his godhead wax, for he hath been 5,000 years a boy. Ay, and a shrewd unhappy gallows too. You'll ne'er be friends with him, a killed your sister. He made her melancholy, sad, and heavy, and so she died. Had she been light like you, of such a merry, nimble, stirring spirit, she might ha' been a grandam ere she died, and so may you, for a light hot lives long. What's your dock meaning, mouse, of this light word? A light condition in a beauty dock. We need more light to find your meaning out. You'll mar the light by taking it in snuff, therefore I'll dockly end the argument. Look, what you do it still I the dock, so do not you, for you are a light wench. Indeed I weigh not you, and therefore light. You weigh me not? Oh, that's you care not for me. Great reason, for past cure is still past care. Well bandied both, a set of wit well played. But Rosaline, you have a favour too, who sent it? And what is it, I would you knew? And if my face were but as fair as yaws, my favour were as great, be witness this. Nay, I have verses too, I thank Bion, the numbers true, and were the numbering too, I were the fairest goddess on the ground, I am compared to 20,000 fairs. Oh, he hath drawn my picture in his letter. Much in the letters, nothing in the praise. Beauteous as ink, a good conclusion, fair as a text be in a copper book. Where pencils, ho, let me not die your debtor, my red dominical, my golden letter. Oh, that your face were not so full of O's, a pox of that jest, and I beshrew all shrows. But Catherine, what was sent to you from fair Dumaine? Madam, this glove, did he not send you twain? Yes, madam, and moreover some 1,000 verses of a faithful lover. A huge translation of hypocrisy, vilely compiled, profound simplicity. This and these pearls to me sent Longueville, the letter is too long by half a mile. I think no less. Dost thou not wish in hot the chain were longer and the letter shot? I, or I with these hands might never part. We are wise girls to mock our lovers so. They are worse fools to purchase mocking so. That same Bion I'll torture ere I go. Oh, that I knew he were but in by the week. How I would make him fawn and beg and seek, and wait the season, and observe the times, and spend his prodigal wits in bootless rhymes, and shape his service wholly to my hests, and make him proud to make me proud that jests. So purtant-like would I osway his state that he should be my fool and I his fate. None are so surely caught, when they are catched, as wit turned fool. Folly, in wisdom hatched, hath wisdom's warrant and the help of school and wit's own grace to grace a learned fool. The blood of youth burns not with such excess as gravity's revolt to wantonness. Folly in fools bears not so strong a note as foolery in the wise, when wit doth dote, since all the power thereof it doth apply to prove, by wit, worth in simplicity. Here comes Boyet, and mirth is in his face. Oh, I am stabbed with laughter. Where's her grace? Thy news, Boyet? Prepare, madam, prepare. Wenches, encounters mounted are against your peace. Love doth approach disguised, armed in arguments, you'll be surprised, muster your wits, stand in your own defense, or hide your heads like cowards and fly hence. St. Denis to St. Cupid? What are they that charge their breath against us? Say, scout, say, under the cool shade of a sycamore I thought to close mine eyes some half an hour, when lo, to interrupt my purposed rest, toward that shade I might behold addressed the king and his companions. Warily I stole into a neighbor thicket by, and overheard what you shall overhear, that by and by, disguised they will be here. Their herald is a pretty knavish page that well by heart hath conned his embassage. Action and accent did they teach him there. Thus must thou speak, and thus thy body bear, and ever and anon they made a doubt presence majestical would put him out. For, quoth the king, an angel shalt thou see, yet fear not thou, but speak audaciously. The boy replied, an angel is not evil, I should have feared her had she been a devil. With that, all laughed and clapped him on the shoulder, making the bold wag by their praises bolder. One rubbed his elbow thus, and fleered and swore a better speech was never spoke before. Another, with his finger and his thumb, cried, Fire, we will dot, come what will come. The third he capered and cried, all goes well. The fourth turned on the toe, and down he fell. With that, they all did tumble on the ground, with such a zealous laughter, so profound, that in this spleen ridiculous appears to check their folly, passion's solemn tears. But what, come they to visit us? They do, and are apparelled thus, like Muscovites or Russians, as I guess. Their purpose is to pall, to cot and dance, and every one his love feet will advance unto his several mistress, which they'll know by favours several which they did bestow. And will they so? The gallants shall be tasked, for ladies we shall every one be masked, and not a man of them shall have the grace, despite of suit, to see a lady's face. Hold, Rosaline, this favour thou shalt wear, and then the king will cot thee for his dear. Hold, take thou this, my sweet, and give me thine, so shall Bion take me for Rosaline. And change your favours too, so shall your loves woo contrary, deceived by these removes. Come on then, where the favour's most in sight. But in this changing what is your intent? The effect of my intent is to cross theirs. They do it but in mocking merriment, and mock for mock is only my intent. Their several counsels they unbosom shall to loves mistook, and so be mocked withal upon the next occasion that we meet, with visages displayed to talk and greet. But shall we dance, if they desire taught? No, to the death, we will not move a foot, nor to their pen speech render we no grace, but while 'tis spoke each turn away her face. Why, that contempt will kill the speaker's hot, and quite divorce his memory from his pot. Therefore I do it, and I make no doubt the rest will ne'er come in if he be out. There's no such spot as spot by spot o'throne, to make theirs ours and ours none but our own, so shall we stay, mocking intended game, and they, well mocked, depart away with shame. Trumpets sound within. The trumpet sounds, be masked, the mask has come, the lady's mask. All hail, the richest beauties on the earth? Beauties no richer than rich taffeta. A holy parcel of the fairest dames, the ladies turn their backs to him, that ever turn their backs to mortal views, aside to moth. Their eyes, villain, their eyes, that ever turn their eyes to mortal views? Out of your favors, heavenly spirits, vouchsafe not to behold, aside to moth. Once to behold, rogue, once to behold with your sunbeamed eyes, they will not answer to that epithet, you were best call it daughter-beamed eyes. They do not mock me, and that brings me out. Is this your perfectness? Begone, you rogue, exit moth. What would these strangers, know their minds buoyant? If they do speak our language, 'tis our will that some plain man recount their purposes, know what they would. What would you with the princess? Nothing but peace and gentle visitation. What would they? Say they, nothing but peace and gentle visitation. Why that they have, and bid them so be gone. She says you have it and you may be gone. Say to her, we have measured many miles to tread a measure with her on this grass. They say that they have measured many a mile to tread a measure with you on this grass. It is not so. Ask them how many inches is in 1 mile. If they have measured many, the measure then of one is easily told. If to come hither you have measured miles and many miles, the princess bids you tell how many inches doth fill up 1 mile. Tell her, we measure them by weary steps. She hears herself. How many weary steps of many weary miles you have gone, unnumbered in the travel of 1 mile. We number nothing that we spend for you. Our duty is so rich, so infinite, that we may do it still without a compt. Vouchsafe to show the sunshine of your face, that we, like savages, may worship it. My face is but a moon, and clouded too. Blessed are clouds to do as such clouds do. Vouchsafe, bright moon, and these thy stars to shine, those clouds removed upon our watery eyne. O vain petitioner, beg a greater matter, thou now requestst but moonshine in the water. Then in our measure do but vouchsafe one change. Thou bidst me beg, this begging is not strange. Play music then? Nay, you must do it soon. Music plays. Not yet? No dance? Thus change I like the moon, will you not dance? How come you thus estranged? You took the moon at full, but now she's changed. Yet still she is the moon, and I the man. The music plays, vouchsafe some motion to it. Our ears vouchsafe it, but your legs should do it. Since you are strangers and come here by chance, will not be nice, take hands, we will not dance. Why take we hands then? Only to part friends curtsy, sweethearts, and so the measure ends. Ma measure of this measure, be not nice. We can afford no more at such a price. Prize you yourselves, what buys your company? Your absence only, that can never be, then cannot we be bought, and so adieu, twice to your visor and half once to you. If you deny to dance, let's hold more chat. In private then, I am best pleased with that. They converse apart. White-handed mistress, one sweet word with thee. Honey and milk and sugar, there is 3. Nay then, 2 trays, and if you grow so nice, metheglin, what, and malmsey. Well run, dice, there's half a dozen sweets. 7th sweet, adieu, since you can cog, I'll play no more with you. 1 word in secret, let it not be sweet. Thou grievest my gall, bitter, therefore meet, they converse apart. Will you vouchsafe with me to change a word, name it. Fair lady, say you so? Fair lord, take that for your fair lady. Please it you as much in private, and I'll bid adieu. They converse apart. What was your visit made without a tongue? I know the reason, lady, why you ask. Oh, for your reason. Quickly, sir, I long. You have a double tongue within your mask, and would afford my speechless visit half. Veal, quoth the Dutchman. Is not veal a calf, fair lady? No, a fair lord calf, let's pot the word. No, I'll not be your half, take all and wean it, it may prove an ox. Look how you butt yourself in these sharp mocks, will you give horns, chaste lady? Do not so, then die a calf, before your horns do grow. 1 word in private with you, ere I die. Bleat softly then, the butcher hears you cry, they converse apart. The tongues of mocking wenches are as keen as is the razor's edge invisible, cutting a smaller hair than may be seen above the sense of sense. So sensible seemeth their conference. Their conceits have wings fleeter than arrows, bullets, wind, thought, swifter things. Not 1 word more, my maids, break off, break off. By heaven, all dry beaten with pure scoff. Farewell, mad wenches, you have simple wits. 20 adieus, my frozen Muscovites. Exeunt king, lauds, and blackamoors. Are these the breed of wits so wondered at? Tape as they are, with your sweet breaths puffed out. Well-liking wits they have, gross, fat. O poverty in wit, kingly poor flout. Will they not, think you, hang themselves tonight, or ever but in vizards show their faces? This pert Bion was out of countenance quite. Oh, they were all in lamentable cases. The king was weeping ripe for a good word. Bion did swear himself out of all suit. Dumaine was at my service, and his sod, no point, quoth I, my servant straight was mute. Lord Longueville said, I came all his hot, and trow you what he called me? Quam, perhaps, yes, in good faith, go, sickness as thou art. Well, better wits have won plain statute caps, but will you hear? The king is my love swan, and quick Bion hath plighted faith to me, and Longueville was for my service bawn. Dumaine is mine, as sure as bark on tree. Madam, and pretty mistresses, give ear. Immediately they will again be here in their own shapes, for it can never be they will digest this harsh indignity. They will, God knows, and leap for joy, though they are lame with blows, therefore change favors, and when they repair, blow like sweet roses in this summer air. How blow? How blow? Speak to be understood. Fair ladies masked are roses in their bud, dismasked, their damask sweet commixture shown, are angels veiling clouds, or roses blown. Avant perplexity? What shall we do, if they return in their own shapes to woo? Good madam, if by me you'll be advised, let's mock them still, as well known as disguised. Let us complain to them what fools were here, disguised like Muscovites in shapeless gear, and wonder what they were, and to what end their shallow shows and prologue vilely penned and their rough carriage so ridiculous, should be presented at our tent to us. Ladies, withdraw, the gallants are at hand. Whip to our tents as rows run all land. Exeunt Princess, Rosaline, Catharine, and Maria. Fair sir, God save you, where's the princess? Gone to her tent. Please at your majesty command me any service to her thither, that she vouchsafe me audience for one word. I will, and so will she, I know, my lord. Exit. This fellow pecks up wit as pigeons peas, and utters it again when God doth please. He is wit's peddler, and retails his wares at wakes and wassails, meetings, markets, fairs, and we that sell by gross, the law doth know, have not the grace to grace it with such show. This gallant pins the wenches on his sleeve. Had he been Adam, he had tempted Eve, a concave too, and lisp. Why, this is he that kissed his hand away in courtesy. This is the ape of Faum, Monsieur the Nice, that when he plays at tables, chides the dice in honorable terms. Nay, he can sing a mean most meanly, and in ushering mend him who can. The ladies call him sweet. The stairs, as he treads on them, kiss his feet. This is the flower that smiles on everyone, to show his teeth as white as whale's bone, and consciences that will not die in debt, pay him the due of honey-tongued boyet. A blister on his sweet tongue, with my hot, that put Amato's page out of his pot, see where it comes. Behaviour, what wert thou till this madman showed thee? And what art thou now? All hail, sweet madam, and fair time of day. Fair, in all hail is foul as I conceive. Construe my speeches better, if you may. Then wish me better, I will give you leave. We came to visit you, and purpose now to lead you to our cot, vouchsafe it then. This field shall hold me, and so hold your vow, nor God nor I delights in perjured men. Rebuke me not for that which you provoke, the virtue of your eye must break my oath. You nickname virtue, vice you should have spoke, for virtue's office never breaks men's troth. Now by my maiden honour, yet as pure as the unsullied lily, I protest, a world of torments though I should endure, I would not yield to be your house's guest. So much I hate a breaking cause to be of heavenly oaths, vowed with integrity. Oh, you have lived in desolation here, unseen, unvisited, much to our shame. Not so, my lord, it is not so, I swear. We have had pastimes here and pleasant game. A mess of Russians left us but of late. I, in truth, my lord, trim gallants, full of courtship and of state. Madam, speak true? It is not so, my lord, my lady, to the manner of the days, in courtesy gives undeserving praise. We four indeed confronted were with four in Russian habit. Here they stayed an hour, and talked apace, and in that hour, my lord, they did not bless us with one happy word. I dare not call them fools, but this I think when they are thirsty, fools would fain have drink. This jest is dry to me. Fair, gentle, sweet, your wit makes wise things foolish. When we greet, with eyes best seeing, heaven's fiery eye, by light we lose light. Your capacity is of that nature that to your huge star wise things seem foolish and rich things but poor. This proves you wise and rich, for in my eye, I am a fool, and full of poverty, but that you take what doth to you belong, it were a fault to snatch words from my tongue. Oh, I am yours and all that I possess, all the fool mine, I cannot give you less. Which of the vizards was it that you were? Where? When? What vizard? Why demand you this? There then that vizard, that superfluous case that hid the worse and showed the better face. We are disgrayed, they'll mock us now downright. Let us confess and turn it to a jest. Amazed, my lord, why looks your highness sad? Help, hold his brows, he'll swoon. Why look you pale? Seasick, I think, coming from Muscovy. Thus paw the stars down plagues for perjury. Can any face of brass hold longer out? Here stand I, lady, dot thy skill at me, bruise me with scorn, confound me with a flout, thrust thy sharp wit quite through my ignorance, cut me to pieces with thy keen conceit, and I will wish thee never more to dance, nor never more in Russian habit wait. Oh, never will I trust to speeches penned, nor to the motion of a schoolboy's tongue, nor never come in visit to my friend, nor woo in rhyme, like a blind hopper's song. Taffeta phrases, silken terms precise, three-piled hyperboles, spruce affectation, figures pedantical, these summer flies have blown me full of maggot ostentation. I do forswear them, and I here protest, by this white glove, how white the hand, God knows. Henceforth my wooing mind shall be expressed in russet yeas and honest kersey noes, and to begin, wench, so God help me la, my love to thee is sound, sans crack or flaw. Sans, I pray you. Yet I have a trick of the old rage, bear with me, I am sick, I'll leave it by degrees. Soft, let us see, right, Lord have mercy on us on those three, they are infected, in their hearts it lies, they have the plague, and caught it of your eyes, these lauds are visited. You are not free, for the Lord's tokens on you do I see. No, they are free that gave these tokens to us. Our states are forfeit, seek not to undo us, it is not so, for how can this be true that you stand forfeit, being those that sue? Peace, for I will not have to do with you. Nor shall not, if I do as I intend. Speak for yourselves, my wit is at an end. Teach us, sweet madam, for our rude transgression some fair excuse. The fairest is confession. Were not you here, but even now disguised? Madam, I was, and were you well advised? I was, fair madam. When you then were here, what did you whisper in your lady's ear? That more than all the world I did respect her. When she shall challenge this, you will reject her. Upon mine honour, no. Peace, forbear. Your oath once broke, you fuss not to forswear. Despise me when I break this oath of mine. I will, and therefore keep it. Rosaline, what did the Russian whisper in your ear? Madam, he swore that he did hold me dear as precious eyesight, and did value me above this world, adding thereto moreover that he would wed me, or else die my lover. God give thee joy of him. The noble lord most honourably doth unhold his word. What mean you, madam? By my life, my troth, I never swore this lady such an oath. By heaven, you did, and to confirm it plain, you gave me this. But take it, sir, again. My faith, and this the princess I did give, I knew her by this jewel on her sleeve. Pardon me, sir, this jewel did she wear, and Lord Byron, I thank him, is my dear. What will you have me, or your pearl again? Neither of either, I remit both twain. I see the trick on't. Here was a consent, knowing aforehand of our merriment, to dash it like a Christmas comedy, some carry tale, some please man, some slight zany, some mumble news, some trenchantite, some dick, that smiles his cheek in years and knows the trick to make my lady laugh when she's disposed, told our intents before, which once disclosed, the ladies did change favours, and then we, following the signs, wooed but the sign of she. Now, to our perjury to add more terror, we are again forsworn in will and error. Much upon this it is, and might not you to buoy it, forestall our spot to make us thus untrue? Do not you know my lady's foot by the square, and laugh upon the apple of her eye, and stand between her back, sir, and the fire, holding a trencher, jesting merrily? You put our page out, go, you are allowed. Die when you will, a smock shall be your shroud. You leer upon me, do you? There's an eye wounds like a leaden sod. Full merrily hath this brave managed, this career been run. Lo, he is tilting straight, peace I have done. Welcome, pure wit, thou pottest a fair fray. O Lord, sir, they would know whether the three worthies shall come in or no. What, are there but three? No, sir, but it is vara fine, for every one person's three, and 3 times thrice is 9. Not so, sir, under correction, sir, I hope it is not so. You cannot beg us, sir, I can assure you, sir. We know what we know, I hope, sir, 3 times thrice, sir, we will turn it finely off, sir, we will take some care. Exit, Byron, they will shame us, let them not approach, we are shame-proof. My lord, and 'tis some policy to have one show worse than the king's and his company. Nay, my good lord, let me o'errule you now. That spot best pleases that doth least know how, where zeal strives to content, and the contents dies in the zeal of that which it presents. Their form confounded makes most form in mirth, when great things labouring perish in their birth. A right description of our spot, my lord. Here is like to be a good presence of worthies. He presents Hector of Troy, the swain, Pompey the Great, the parish curate, Alexander, Amato's page, Hercules, the pedant, Judas Maccabeus. And if these 4 worthies in their first show thrive, these 4 will change habits and present the other 5. There is 5 in the first show, you are deceived, 'tis not so. The pedant, the braggart, the hedge priest, the fool, and the boy, a bait throw at novum, and the whole world again cannot pick out 5 such, take each one in his vein. The ship is under sail, and here she comes amain. I Pompium, you lie, you are not he. I Pompium with Libid's head on knee. Well said, old mocker, I must needs be friends with thee. I Pompium, Pompey surnamed the big, it is, great, sir. Pompey surnamed the great, that oft in field, with Taj and shield, did make my foe to sweat. And travelling along this coast, I hear him come by chance, and lay my arms before the legs of this sweet lass of France, if your ladyship would say. Thanks, Pompey. I had done. When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander. By east, west, north, and south, I spread my conquering might. My scutcheon plain declares that I am Alessander. Your nose says no, you are not, for it stands too right. Your nose smells no in this most tender-smelling night. The conqueror is dismayed. Proceed, good Alexander. When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander. Most true, 'tis right, you were so, Alessander. Great Hercules is presented by this imp, whose club killed Cerberus, that three-headed Canes, and when he was a babe, a child, a shrimp, thus did he strangle serpents in his manus. Quoniam he seemeth in minority, ergo I come with this apology. Keep some state in thy exit, and vanish. Moth retires. Judas I am, not Iscariot, sir. Judas I am, Icleipt Maccabeus. Judas Maccabeus clipped is plain Judas. A kissing traitor? How art thou proved Judas? Judas I am, the more shame for you, Judas. What mean you, sir? To make Judas hang himself. Begin, sir, you are my elder. Well followed. Judas was hanged on an elder. I will not be put out of countenance, because thou hast no face. What is this? A sitten head, the head of a bodkin, a death's face in a ring, the face of an old Roman coin scarce seen, the pommel of Caesar's falchion, the carved bone face on a flask, St. George's half-cheek in a brooch, aye, and in a brooch of lid, aye, and one in the cap of a tooth-drawer. And now forward, for we have put thee in countenance, you have put me out of countenance. False, we have given thee faces, but you have outfaced them all, and thou wert a lion, we would do so. Therefore, as he is an ass, let him go. And so adieu, sweet Jude. Nay, why dost thou stay, for the latter end of his name? For the ass to the Jude, give it him? Judas, away? This is not generous, not gentle, not humble. A light for Monsieur Judas? It grows dark, he may stumble. Holofernes retires. Alas, poor Maccabeus, how hath he been baited? The omnipotent Mars of Lances the Almighty gave Hector a gift, peace. The omnipotent Mars of Lances the Almighty gave Hector a gift, the heir of Ilion, a man so breathed that certain he would fight. Yea, from morn till night, out of his pavilion. I am that flower, that mint, that columbine. Speak, brave Hector, we are much delighted. Welcome, Mercade, but that thou interruptst our merriment. I am sorry, madam, for the news I bring is heavy in my tongue. The king your father, prepare, I say. I thank you, gracious lords, for all your fair endeavours, and entreat, out of a new sad soul, that you vouchsafe in your rich wisdom to excuse or hide the liberal opposition of our spirits, if overboldly we have borne ourselves in the converse of breath. Your gentleness was guilty of it. Farewell, worthy lord. A heavy heart bears not a nimble tongue. Excuse me so, coming too short of thanks for my great suit so easily obtained. The extreme parts of time extremely forms all causes to the purpose of his speed, and often at his very loose decides that which long process could not arbitrate. And though the morning brow of progeny forbid the smiling courtesy of love the holy suit which fain it would convince, yet, since love's argument was first on foot, let not the cloud of sorrow justle it from what it purposed, since to wail friends lost is not by much so wholesome profitable as to rejoice at friends but newly found. I understand you not. My griefs are double. Honest plain words best pierce the ear of grief, and by these badges understand the king. For your fair sakes have we neglected time, played foul play with our oaths. Your beauty, ladies, hath much deformed us, fashioning our humours even to the opposed end of our intents. And what in us hath seemed ridiculous, as love is full of unbefitting strains, all wanton as a child, skipping and vain, formed by the eye and therefore, like the eye, full of strange shapes of habits and of forms, varying in subjects as the eye doth roll to every varied object in his glance, which potty-coated presence of loose love put on by us, if, in your heavenly eyes, have misbecomed our oaths and gravities, those heavenly eyes that look into these faults suggested us to make. Therefore, ladies, our love being yours, the error that love makes is likewise yours. We to ourselves prove false, by being once false for ever to be true to those that make us both, fair ladies, you, and even that falsehood, in itself a sin, thus purifies itself and turns to grace. We have received your letters full of love, your favours, the ambassadors of love, and in our maiden council rated them at courtship, pleasant jest and courtesy, as bombast and as lining to the time, But more devout than this in our respects have we not been, and therefore met your loves in their own fashion, like a merriment. Our letters, madam, showed much more than jest. So did our looks. We did not quote them so. Now, at the latest minute of the hour, grant us your loves. A time, methinks, too short to make a world without end bargain in. No, no, my lord, your grace is perjured much, full of dear guiltiness, and therefore this, if for my love, as there is no such cause, you will do aught, this shall you do for me. Your oath I will not trust, but go with speed to some forlorn and naked hermitage, remote from all the pleasures of the world. There stay until the 12 celestial signs have brought about the annual reckoning. If this austere insociable life change not your offer made in heat of blood, if frosts and fasts, hard lodging and thin weeds nip not the gaudy blossoms of your love, but that it bear this trial and lost love, then, at the expiration of the year, come challenge me by these deserts, and, by this virgin palm now kissing thine, I will be thine, until that instant shut my woeful self up in a mourning house, raining the tears of lamentation for the remembrance of my father's death. If this thou do deny, let our hands part, neither entitled in the other's heart. If this, all more than this, I would deny, to flatter up these powers of mine with rest, the sudden hand of death close up mine eye, hence ever then my heart is in thy breast. You must be purged too, your sins are racked, you are attaint with faults and perjury. Therefore if you my favour mean to get, a 12 shall you spend, and never rest, but seek the weary beds of people sick. But what to me, my love? But what to me? A wife, a beard, fair health, and honesty. With threefold love I wish you all these three. Oh, shall I say I thank you, gentle wife? Not so, my lord. A 12 and a day I'll mock no words that smooth-faced wooers say. Come when the king doth to my lady come, then, if I have much love, I'll give you some. I'll serve thee true and faithfully till then. Yet swear not, lest ye be forsworn again. What says Maria? At the 12 end I'll change my black gown for a faithful friend. I'll stay with patience, but the time is long. The like o' you, few taller are so young. Studies my lady? Mistress, look on me. Behold the window of my heart, mine eye. What humble suit attends thy answer there? Impose some service on me for thy love. Oft have I heard of you, my Lord Bion, before I saw you, and the world's large tongue proclaims you for a man replete with mocks, full of comparisons and wounding flouts, which you on all estates will execute that lie within the mercy of your wit, to weed this wormwood from your fruitful brain, and therewithal to win me, if you please, without the which I am not to be won. You shall this 12 term from day to day visit the speechless sick and still converse with groaning wretches. And your task shall be, with all the fierce endeavor of your wit to enforce the pained impotent to smile, to move wild laughter in the throat of death. It cannot be, it is impossible. Mirth cannot move a soul in agony. Why, that's the way to choke a gibing spirit, whose influence is begot of that loose grace which shallow laughing hearers give to fools. A jest's prosperity lies in the ear of him that hears it, never in the tongue of him that makes it. Then, if sickly ears, deft with the clamours of their own dear groans, will hear your idle scorns, continue then, and I will have you and that fault withal. But if they will not, throw away that spirit, and I shall find you empty of that fault, right joyful of your reformation. A 12 Well, befall what will befall, I'll jest a 12 in an hospital. To the king, I, sweet my lord, and so I take my leave. No, madam, we will bring you on your way. Our wooing doth not end like an old play, Jack hath not Jill. These ladies' courtesy might well have made our spot a comedy. Come, sir, it wants a 12 and a day, and then 'twill end. That's too long for a play. Spring, when daisies pied and violets blue and lady smocks all silver white and cuckoo buds of yellow hue do paint the meadows with delight. The cuckoo then, on every tree, mocks married men. For thus sings he, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. O word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear. When shepherds pipe on oaten straws and merry locks are ploughmen's clocks, when turtles tread, and rooks and daws, and maidens bleach their summer smocks. The cuckoo then, on every tree, mocks married men. For thus sings he, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. O word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear? Winter. When icicles hang by the wall and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, and Tom bears lugs into the hall and milk comes frozen home in pail, when blood is nipped and ways be foul, then nightly sings the staring owl, to-wit. To-who, a merry note, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot. When all aloud the wind doth blow and coughing drowns, the parson's saw and birds sit brooding in the snow, and Marian's nose looks red and raw. When roasted crabs hiss in the bowl, then nightly sings the staring owl, to-wit. To-who, a merry note, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot. Colophon Love's Labour's Lost was published in 1594 by William Shakespeare. This ebook was produced for Standard eBooks by Emma Sweeney and is based on a transcription produced in 1993 by Jeremy Hilton for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and on digital scans from the Hathai Trust Digital Library. The cover page is adapted from King Cophetua and the Beggar Maid, a painting completed in 1884 by Sir Edward Coley Burne-Jones. The cover and title pages feature the League Spartan and Sots Mill Gaudy typefaces created in 2014 and 2009 by the League of Movable Type. This edition was released on August 18, 2025, 9:13 p.m., and is based on revision 0B for BFDD. The first edition of this ebook was released on October 13, 2022, 7:32 p.m. You can check for updates to this ebook, view its revision history, or download it for different e-reading systems at standardbooksorg/ebooks/William Shakespeare/Love's Labour's Lost. The volunteer-driven Standard eBooks project relies on readers like you to submit typos, corrections, and other improvements. Anyone can contribute at standardbooksorg. Dramatis Personae Ferdinand, King of Navarre Bayern, laud attending on the King Longueville, laud attending on the King Dumaine, laud attending on the King Boyet, laud attending on the Princess of France Mercade, laud attending on the Princess of France Don Adriano de Amado, a fantastical Spaniard Sir Nathaniel, a curate Holofernes, a schoolmaster Dull, a constable Costard, a clown Moth, page to Amado, a forester the Princess of France Rosaline, lady attending on the Princess Maria, lady attending on the Princess Catharine, lady attending on the Princess Jaquinetta, a country wench lauds, attendants, etc. Scene. Navarre. Love's Labour's Lost. Imprint. This ebook is the product of many hours of hard work by volunteers for Standard ebooks and builds on the hard work of other literature lovers made possible by the public domain. This particular ebook is based on a transcription from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and on digital scans from the Hathai Trust Digital Library. The source text and artwork in this ebook are believed to be in the United States public domain. That is, they are believed to be free of copyright restrictions in the United States. They may still be copyrighted in other countries, so users located outside of the United States must check their local laws before using this ebook. The creators of and contributors to this ebook dedicate their contributions to the worldwide public domain via the terms in the CC 01.0 Universal Public Domain dedication. For full license information, see the uncopyright at the end of this ebook. Standard eBooks is a volunteer-driven project that produces ebook editions of public domain literature using modern typography, technology, and editorial standards, and distributes them free of cost. You can download this and other ebooks carefully produced for true book lovers at standardbooksorg.